Alright, so I want to take a video of this dual battery, and charging system I've been working on for a while. I've been working on the wiring for a while now. I finally got all the parts in, as far as this charger over here, which I'll go over in a second. But yeah, basically I wanted to run two batteries in the Explorer. I wanted to run the front, main battery, which is just a normal car battery for starting. And then I also wanted to run another battery in the back for running all the equipment, like a deep cycle battery. You see that a lot in RVs and boats. They'll have separate batteries for starting. Then they'll have deep cycle batteries, which are actually meant to run down all the way. You can actually damage your main battery by letting it run dead, like continuously running it down to where it's like a really low voltage. I guess the lead plates are really thin and close together, and they can corrode and stuff if you run it down. At least that's what I've been told. So they make marine batteries, which are or marine or RV batteries, which are meant to be ran dead all the way, which is what I have in here. Yeah, I guess marine batteries, they don't have as much of a cold cranking amp, so you can't use it to actually start the car, but it'll actually run a lot longer. Like the voltage will stay steady for a long time and then kind of drop off rapidly, where a car battery, if you were to chart it out, the voltage kind of drops pretty steadily, the longer you run it. Car battery is really meant to just start the car. Not meant for long, periods of running. Which for this Explorer, I want to be able to put this, if I put it on display somewhere, or I take it to a show, and I don't have the option to put a charger on it or to power the truck from an outlet. I want to have a battery available so I can run, at least for, an hour or two. I'm going to have all the TVs running, the sound system, nothing crazy. Maybe the headlights or something at some point. Those obviously are going to drain a lot of power. So I've been wanting to do this dual battery setup for a while. This is a completely optional thing. Like, I don't know. This is just something I've been wanting to do. Like I said, I've been working on making these cables and stuff. My lunch break at work, we have a whole cable assembly area, and I've been talking to them about suggestions and basically just kind of working on making the cables. Some of them I bought pre-made. Like if you go on eBay, you can search for these large like 2-gauge cables that are already made, and you just tell them what kind of lugs you want. But basically, I kind of intercepted the feed to the truck right here with this little splitter underneath here. There's like a terminal block thing. Now I routed it to this boat switch. This is a battery switch for a boat, which allows you to switch between, switch the battery off. You can switch to battery 1, which would be, for me, that's this battery. Both batteries, which is the battery in the cargo area and the front battery, or just the back battery. This is really handy. Even just working on the truck, if I'm doing some electrical work, where I'm going to have the doors open for a long time, and the dome light is on and stuff like that, and it could drain the battery. I can just come over here and just turn the truck off, so it's not draining the battery. It's it's kind of handy. But yeah, I mounted it right here with a little bracket. It's pretty sturdy. I did put fuses on everything, especially running like such a large gauge wire. I think this is 4 gauge. I ran it all the way to the back. I put a fuse on it right here at the switch, and I put a fuse on it, at the actual battery. You don't want to burn your car down, so I put fuses pretty much everywhere I could. But yeah, that's it. I pretty much intercepted the main feed to the truck, brought it over here, where you can select which battery you want to operate. Yeah, and I mentioned the charger. So this is one thing I got in recently, which I've been preparing for. But it's basically a power supply slash charger. This will power the truck, which I also, right here, when I was splicing all this stuff, I spliced in an extra port here that I can plug this unit into, and this will either A, power the vehicle completely off of the wall, so I got a cord coming down here, or B, I can power the vehicle and charge a battery just by selecting which battery I want to charge. So I can charge both batteries. I can charge the one battery. Obviously the alternator, if the truck is running, I can select which battery I want to charge and charge it, via the alternator. But this just gives me a little more flexibility. I actually got this idea for this unit here at the International Auto Show. I remember going there years ago, and they have all the cars on display. Ford, Chevy, Toyota. Everyone has their cars there, and you can go in, you can play with the radio and play with the headlights, and they're all not running off the car battery. So I went recently to this past year, 2016, and I actually looked at what they were using to power their cars, and it's one of this Iota power supply. This is a 75 amp model. At those auto shows, they would either shove it somewhere underneath the hood, or they would have it on the ground, behind the tire or something like that. This will actually fit. If I can do it with one hand. This will actually fit right down in there, and I can actually close the hood. And it's, yeah, I can actually keep it clear of the belts and stuff, just in case you were to start the car. I would not suggest running the car with that plugged in. But for some reason, if the remote start button got hit or something happened, it wouldn't get all tangled up in the belts. But yeah, definitely removable. So I can just unplug this port right here and just take the unit out. Let me go to the back. Yeah, so this is the battery. I have the power plug coming right through here where this big void is in the jack area. This is the panel. I want to buy another one of these panels, get one from the junkyard and cut a notch out so I can actually close this up. But then have this one if I don't want to run the battery. I'm probably only going to put this battery in when it's needed. I'm going to make some better straps and strap it down back here. But it's kind of heavy. I don't want to roll around with it all the time because it's just, I don't know, it's just a big heavy battery. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Comes over here, then I can just, I can't really do it with one hand, but unplug this and just tuck it back in there. And then, yeah, so this power supply is, especially nice for, when I'm testing my, my computer and all that, the TVs and all that stuff. I'm not sitting there running off of the batteries. Which, yeah, I'll go ahead and fire it up. So right now, I have both batteries off, and we're just being powered by the power supply there. And I have it all controlled with this, which I hit auxiliary once. Oops. There we go. It's just a kind of an entry-level Viper alarm type thing. It's actually not an alarm, it's just a keyless and remote start. I might upgrade the unit to an alarm one later on, but yeah, I can turn on and off the entertainment stuff with the remote. As you can see, it turns on there. I got a webcam here somewhere, it's tucked away somewhere, but yeah, all this stuff turns on. I can also pause it and play it by holding the auxiliary button. I'm using that little arcade iPack thing.
The appropriate information will be automatically.
I'm using that little arcade iPack thing to interface this with the computer, so I can, I want to actually do a little bit more with it. I want to be able to start it, stop it, like rewind it, with key combinations with this. But I think the battery's low. I think that's why it's making so much noise. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Which this will all turn off after I think it's set for like 30 seconds. If there's no activity from the key or from this, the actual computer will shut off as well. But I like this setup too because I have it fed where this will fire the relay to turn all this stuff on, but it won't turn on stuff like the door, like the windows. So basically, I can have everything powered up. Turn back on there. I can have everything powered up without the windows being powered up. So if it was somewhere, I don't know, on display or something, like you couldn't really operate anything other than, the entertainment stuff. There's no key in it. You can't start the car. You can't move the steering wheel, anything like that. So I'll turn it back off again. Yeah, I think that's about it. I also, remove my headlight switch. So this is also my headlight switch. If I hit this 1, 2, that turns on the headlights, and it's latching, so they'll remain on until I hit it again, and that turns them off. So yeah, and obviously it's the door locks as well. The remote start is working. Yeah, so I'm pretty much set with the whole remote thing, and the dual battery. I think that's about it. I don't think there's anything else I'm gonna really add to the to the multimedia setup here. I'm sure that there'll be something I want to change or add, but yeah, figured it'd be kind of an interesting video. It's definitely not for everybody. If you don't think you're gonna even put your car on display or take it to shows or anything, it's definitely overkill. But I do want to do more with this vehicle. When I had my Jeep, I didn't take it to a whole lot of shows. Yeah, I kind of regret that. So I do want to take it to some cons and to some auto shows, and this will definitely make it really flexible in that sense. All right, well, thank you for watching.